Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our channel, Technical Learning for All. And today we are going to understand how to install MySQL Server in our laptop, okay, and MySQL Workbench also. So let's start it. Firstly, search for MySQL Community Server download, okay, MySQL Community Server download, okay, for 64-bit, and you can visit to the MySQL official site here. If you check here, it is showing that the latest version is the ninth. Okay, so as we are going for the 64-bit version, okay, so here we got MSI installer and zip archive, right? So I want the MSI installer. No thanks, just start my download. So it will start the MSI file for you. It will download the file for you based on your internet speed. It can take time. So for me, it is done within 5 seconds. Okay. So just clicking on this now. Once you click on this here, it will open one window. Okay. In this, just click on the next, accept the agreement, click on the next. You can read here, it is MySQL Server 9.0 setup. Okay. Then I want here, there are three types. Okay. First is the typical, second is the custom, and third one is the complete. I want the complete installation. Okay. And then install. Based on your internet speed, it may take some more time. Okay. So I may pause the video for some time. It will just ask you, it will just display one alert box. Okay. On the screen there, you have to click on the yes button. Okay. And then once you click on the yes button, it will start copying the files to your C drive, and then click on the finish. Okay. Now here in this configurator, you can just click on the next. Here you can select any location. Here I am selecting the program files only, program data MySQL. Okay. And inside that, MySQL Server 9.0 folder inside the C drive. Again, next. Here it will ask the port number. So by default, the port number I'm going to keep as the 3306. Okay. Then next. Here you can add the password. I'm adding the password here, okay, and then adding the user also. Okay, user I'm adding and adding as the DB admin here, okay, and then password. Password is the week. Okay, fine. Rather than adding the new user, okay, we can use the default one only. If you want, you can add the new user here, okay. Like you can give any name, okay, like Swapnil or whatever you want. Swapnil, okay. If you want, you can create like this, okay, and then click on the OK button. Okay. So one user added here, Swapnil, okay. And here we are setting the password for the root account as well. Okay. So there will be one user with the name root, okay, which will be the default user, okay. And then second user will be the Swapnil. So Swapnil I am adding as the DB admin here, okay. and this is the password for the root user. For Swapnil, I added different password. So next, and here we want standard system account. Next, okay, then next, and finally execute. Wait for some time, okay, done. Okay, now click on the next, and then copy log to clipboard not required. Okay, click on the finish. So our MySQL is now installed. You can just search for MySQL here. Okay, MySQL 9.0 command line. Okay, and then run as the administrator. So here you can check the settings. Okay, now we want to install MySQL Workbench. Okay, why we want to install MySQL Workbench? Because we want to fire some command, right? We want to fire some command on the MySQL database server, right? So for that, we want to install the MySQL Workbench. If you check here in my laptop, there is no Workbench, okay, as it is new one, okay. So firstly, let's install the Workbench. MySQL Workbench, download. Again, we are going to the official site for 64-bit download. We don't want to log in, so just click on the no thanks, just start my download. Okay, once it is downloaded, click on this. Next, it will install in the C program a MySQL Workbench 8.0 CE folder. Okay, next, complete installation required. Next, and install. Then it will display one pop-up window. In that window, click on the yes button. Once you click on the yes, it will start copying the new files. Remember, you should have the good internet speed. Okay, if your internet speed is very less, then you may face some issues. Once it is completed, click on the finish button, and you can just click on this launch MySQL Workbench. Okay, now, or we will launch from the menu only. Okay, click on the finish. Now go to your menu. Okay, search for Workbench, MySQL Workbench. Okay, click on this, and then we want to add the new connection, right? Now if you check here, okay, by default one connection is there. If you remember, okay, when we did the installation earlier, right, we added some password, correct? So that password we added for the root user, and apart from the root user, we created one more user with the name Swapnil. Okay, and Swapnil is acting as the database admin here. Okay, but we are not going to use the Swapnil here. Okay, we will just use the root user. Okay, so click on this. If it is not visible to you, click on the add connection. Okay, but if it is visible to you, click on this and then add the password. So whatever password you have given while installation, okay, please note down that same password you have to provide for the root user. Okay, for Swapnil I provided different password, and for the root user I provided different one. Save password in the vault and clicking on the OK. Incompatible non-standard server version or connection protocol detected. Okay, a connection to this device can be established, but some MySQL Workbench feature may not work properly since the database is not fully compatible with the supported version of the MySQL. MySQL Workbench is developed and tested for MySQL Server version up to 8.0, right? So please note there may be some incompatibilities. So we are having the MySQL Workbench 8.0, okay, and we installed MySQL Server 9.0, okay. That's why it is giving some warning, okay, but we can just continue anyway. In future, if you want, you can install the latest version of the MySQL Workbench also, okay. So here you can just fire command like show databases. It should show you the databases. Okay, we got it right. Information schema, MySQL, performance schema, and SYS. So guys, finally we installed MySQL database server. Okay, and we installed MySQL Workbench, and from the MySQL Workbench we have connected to our MySQL server. Okay. So now in this window you can execute your command. Okay, like for example, if you want to create table, okay, if you want to insert any information, that command you can practice here. So I hope that this video is helpful for you. Okay, if you think that on this channel you are getting some important content, then please don't forget to subscribe technical learning for all. Okay, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, and good night.